Happy lunch hour, guys. Figured I'd give you this one because it's going to come out after this morning's video. And wanted to get this one out to you before, like a lot of the rest of you, I got to get in the kitchen and start making stuffing and prepping things for tomorrow. So, y'all remember back in, I don't know, September of 2001, and the mayor of New York at the time, Rudy Giuliani, was dubbed America's mayor. Well, fast forward 20 years later, and now we get Bill DeBlasio, America's moron. I told you guys this morning about the proposed ban on truckers, government personnel, emergency workers or whatever crossing the Canadian border or the Mexican border into the United States unless they have participated in the jungle juice. Well, Bill DeBlasio this morning came out and decided to issue some sort of mandate, or I guess is considering it. Either he already has or he is, one of the two, I'm not quite sure. But he wants that if you aren't jabbed, you aren't allowed to travel on the New York subway. Now, some of you guys live in New York. Most of you guys know of New York. Okay. You don't own a car in New York. Most people don't, okay? And not because traffic is crazy, but because there's nowhere to park the thing. So, I remember going back, this got 25 years ago, and a guy I worked with who lived in Chicago, this is Chicago, not New York, was paying $5,000 a year for his parking space for his car in the city. I can't imagine what it would cost to park a car in New York. So basically, what this is telling anybody in New York is you aren't allowed to travel. You can't go to work. You can't go participate in any of anything. Go to a restaurant. Go to a restaurant, go to a store, do whatever. The majority of people in New York City travel via the subway. Takes millions of people a day travel the New York subway. But de Blasio is pushing to say no jab, no subway travel. He's actually trying to get the governor, Kathy Hochul, to make it a law that there is a mandate for the Mass Transit Authority to prohibit it. Now, this is the subway. Now think of what else is Mass Transit Authority around there. Oh, I don't know. You have the ferries. I'm not sure if the PATH train is, but this gets nuts. Where else does it go from here, guys? Is he trying? Remember, de Blasio's on his way out. He's term limited out, and you'll have a new mayor here soon. But is he trying to chase everybody out of New York City? Because if you can't take the subway, you're done. Where does this go next? Does this wind up, let's say, on the Loop in Chicago? You can't take the red line, the blue line. You can't take the Burlington, whatever. Does it say you can't use mass transit in, I don't know, Salt Lake City or something like that? I'm trying to think of places I've been, or the BART system in Boston, whatever. Think about this. If you live in the city, you can't use buses, trains, trolleys, whatever. How long does it take till it's cabs? You have no way to go anywhere in a city if what de Blasio is trying to push through goes through. My big question, of course, is how the hell are you going to enforce it? You got to scan your little card to, unless you're a turnstile jumper, to get on the train. I'm still waiting for this. I'm betting this is coming. All right. But here's the other part to it. This is kind of interesting. especially on this platform. This came out this morning. Hundreds of Google employees are opposing the company's extensive vaccine mandate, complicating its efforts to move back to inter-office work. Okay. Apparently, there is a manifesto circulating around Google headquarters signed so far by about 600 people, where the workers at Google are demanding that the firm present an alternate method that is inclusive of all Googlers, and they're also encouraging other employees to oppose this mandate out of principle. Now, let's think about this. We are talking uber liberal, so far up Joe's anal cavity, it's unbelievable. And you have employees there saying, we're not doing this. Now, these are primarily people that are working from home, all right? That, they don't want to have to be mandated. Why should you? If you work from home, why should you? The manifesto comes out and says, it justifies the principle of division and unequal treatment of Googlers based on their personal beliefs and decisions. Let's change the Googlers to American citizens. It justifies the principles of division and unequal treatment of American citizens based on their personal beliefs and decisions. Think about that for a second. If you have an uber liberal organization where its employees are saying no, yet we get into a situation where it's okay for the general public, for your police department, fire department, doctors, lawyers, sanitation workers, whatever, airlines, TSA agents, passengers on a plane, whatever it is, okay? You can't use any of that, right? Because that's what the mandates say. But now, are we seeing a chink in the armor here, guys? That the left is now saying, you've gone too far. Yeah. I mean, this is going to be interesting because y'all know what we deal with here every day. How's this going to go? Can we talk about it? Can we not talk about it? Is this going to be strikeable? I don't know. But very interesting that the employees of Google are now pushing against vaccine mandates. Be interesting to see how this one plays out. Enjoy. Off to cook. See y'all later. Pinball out.